Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to show you how to replace the windscreen wiper motor on this Mercedes C-Class and a couple of tests you can do to determine if you need a new motor or not. First step is to fully open the hood. So on the driver's side you've got here a red button. You got to press it and lift the hood, and the red button will lock itself in here, and now you've got plenty of space to work on the wipers. Next, I will remove this cover so I can get access to the fuse box. Down here in the fuse box you've got two relays. This one is turning on and off the wipers, and this one is controlling the speed of the wipers. So before removing the cover and all the wipers, I'm gonna go ahead and test this relay. I will use this type of pliers so I can catch the relay and pull it out. The relay has 5 pins. Over here there is a diagram of them, and you can see pin number 3 and pin number 4, they are closed. It means that we should be able to find continuity between these two, 30 and 87A, and it is. This means that when the relay is not activated, the current can pass through these two pins. That's a good sign. And you can look further to the pin number 2 and pin number 1, 86 and 85. This is basically the electromagnet, the small electromagnet that is going to switch between this pin and this pin. So that's also a good sign that there is no full continuity through this magnetic field. Otherwise, when you apply 12 volts directly, it's going to be a short circuit. So a final decisive test on the relay is to check the continuity between pin number 3 and pin number 5. There shouldn't be any continuity at the moment. But when I apply 12 volts, I've done this test before, but I can show you again. And as you can see, it works. So once I verify that the relay is working, you can do the same test on the speed control relay. It's the same relay, exactly the same circuits. So I'm going to place back the relay for the speed control, and I will turn the key in the first position. And again, from the diagram I can see that if I bypass the relay and connect the pin number 30 with pin number 85, that should turn on the wipers. So I set the voltmeter to amps mode. I switch the terminals down here. Now the voltmeter will act as a jumper cable. So I'm gonna probe the pin number 30 and 87, and with the key in the first position, now the wipers should turn on, and they do, as you can see. This can be a confirmation that the motor works. So let's say you still cannot activate the motor when you jump the terminals and you bypass the relay. Next thing you can do, on the side over here there is a white connector. It has, as you can see, 2 tabs on the sides. You have to press them inwards from both sides and pull the connector out. Down here you've got 4 wires. So if I apply 12 volts to the brown wire and the green wire is the positive, you should see the wipers work. So from this point, if you get a response on the wiper motors when you apply 12 volts to these wires, you don't have to do further procedures to remove the motor and replace it. You'll definitely have an electrical problem like a bad relay or maybe a fuse. I will place back the relay. One more thing to mention is that the wipers won't work if the hood is opened. So in order to trick the computer and let it know that the hood is open, down here on the latch there is the sensor that tells if the hood is open or not. You just have to bypass the hood and place a screwdriver in between here so that the switch will stay on. Now I will remove one more time the relay. Again, as you can see on the diagram, we've got number 2 and number 1 pin are supposed to be the switching side. So I should be able to find 12 volts when I turn on the wipers. So I'm going to probe these terminals down here, and with the screwdriver in position, we've got 12 volts down there, and now it's on the maximum speed, and the speed relay also activated. So from this point, if the motor doesn't respond, it's almost 100% guarantee that the motor is bad and needs to be replaced. So I can start by removing this rubber seal. It just comes out like so. Then with the T25, you've got 2 bolts down here and 2 more down here. Once these 4 bolts are out, with a 30mm socket, you can undo the nut which holds the wiper arm in position. You can pull it upwards like so, and using a prier, apply some tension on the arm, and with a hammer you can knock a little bit on this bolt. There we go. Now with the first arm off, I can undo the second one. From this point, starting from this side, let's say, you can pull the cover and release any hoses and clamps you'll find around it, like these water evacuators. On this side as well, I will remove the PCM wires. You just pop it off, the cover is out. Now down here you can see the assembly. Now if I turn on the wipers, you are able to see how the motor works. It basically spins continually in the same direction, but if you see the rotation on the wipers, it's just on 90 degrees. And notice that when you stop it, even though you stop it in the middle of the way, the motor will go and run further until the wipers are set off. Right, so in order to remove this assembly, you've got 1 bolt down here, 13mm, and 1 down here. Once these 2 bolts are removed, there is 1 more down here. It's a 10mm, which is connected on the firewall. And with the last bolt removed, now the unit can come out. Not before removing again the connector from the fuse box. Here we go. The unit is out. Now you can see I cannot access this bolt with a normal socket, so I have to use a wrench, and I will spin a little bit the motor like so. And now I can put my socket down here. It will spin a little bit until the socket will touch on the arm. Now I have leverage to open the bolt. Let's see, here we go. It's actually a nut is out. Now the last step in removing this motor is to undo these 10mm bolts. There are 3 of them, and if you don't have a torque wrench, remember how much they were tightened, at least approximately, and then you can tie them back with the same force. Finally, the motor is out. Here is the part number if you need it. It seems to be the original one in my situation. Now, since I opened this cover and there is a lot of dirt down here, I'm going to give it a clean on this channel down here where this edge will go. After I cleaned up this cover, I noticed that the color is gone and is mostly white and black in some spots. I can use a trick with a propane torch. If you slowly heat it up, you can see how the plastic is a little bit melted on the surface and it becomes shiny again. Alright, next you can install the new motor on the bracket. Just place the motor under the bracket and match the first hole. Just hand tight them like so, and then you can torque them down when the unit is on the car. I will install back these 2 bolts which holds the assembly on the frame. So for that I'm going to place some thread locker on these bolts. Here we go. Now remember there was 1 more bolt down here on the assembly. So what I'm gonna do now, with the moving arms disconnected, I'm going to turn on the motor. I turn it off Now it stops. Now it means also that I can install the moving arms, and they should be synchronized right now. Let's see. There we go. It stops where it should. Now you can install back the plastic cover. Next is the single arm on the driver's side. For that I will do the same. I will position it on the screen and try to keep the position, and then I will press on this arm, and here it should lock on the threads. There are some vertical threads, not the ones which the nut will go. Right, let's try now. Perfect. And that's it, job done. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you are new to this channel and you want to see more car repair videos, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, drive safe, and I will see you soon.